So yesterday I got a question about like how do you take your first steps? How do you uh, go out there and do the things that you really want to do in your life? Like, how do you dare doing it? And like, what's the first steps? And I told this person that it was actually here right where I'm sitting right now, and I told this person there's a few components that needs to be in place for you to be able to kind of like throw yourself out there and go for the things that you really want to go for. And we were talking about like 9 to 5 and like working and like being sometimes depressed even because you're like you go and work for something and then you get a wage, and that wage anyway turns out that there's no money left in the month anyway. So like how do you dare to go to for your stuff? I would say number one, trust in life. Like trusting in life and trusting in, I call it the universe. Some people call it like God. I'm not a religious guy, but I believe that there is something kind of like greater than us, or like bigger than us, and trusting that thing and have a relationship with that, whatever that you think that is, and whatever your experience is, it doesn't matter. I thought in the past that it was my father actually, that I had this relationship with, and still I have, but now later on I understood that it's something even greater, and it's, some people call it source, energy, infinite intelligence. It doesn't really matter what you call it. You need to start to see signs, observing life, and really start to connect with life and start to feel this relationship with life, so you can feel supported in the things that you're doing, because the things that you're about to do is risky, and maybe you're fearful, and maybe there's obstacles in the way, and whatever that is, you need to feel that you have such a relationship with life that life will always catch you if you fall, that there is no downside, that there is only lessons and there is succeeding. And when you come to that point, you can like kind of like you can say to yourself, I'm gonna do this, and then you actually take action and go do it. Sometimes we procrastinate and we hold ourselves back and we keep ourselves small, and we are mean to ourselves, and diminish ourselves. So this thing with like starting to observing and see how what's your communication way to life, what's the way you see the signs, where do you have the relationship, and what are you doing. um, the greater this relationship will become, the more risk you can take, because risk is only risk if you don't know what you're doing, and if you feel that you are completely lost in the thing, and no one will catch you if you fall. So that's number one. It's super important, and this will take time. It's nothing that's gonna come like over one day or two. um, and you can keep practicing this, and this is probably the only relationship that you will have for the rest of your life that is the strongest one, I believe. This is the strongest relationship I have, and I think this also is connected to yourself. And when you are like opening up this and you dig into this, you will also see that this outside will change. And then I would say number two would be in some sort of like um, daring to take the first steps, is to know what your fears are, because your fear will hold you back, and it will kind of like use, if you're not observing what's happening in your mind will use you, and your mind will make sure that you are not going to do the things that your soul wants to do, and rather your mind wants to keep you safe. So you got to observe the things that, if what you are scared of, what are the things that you are most afraid of happening, and be really brutally honest with yourself. Without this step, and nothing's gonna work. If you gonna keep telling to yourself, oh, I'm not scared, I have no fears, and if you talk about them, you're gonna push them away, or like you gotta be really brutally honest with yourself. What am I really afraid of, and what can we have a look at that? And when that comes up, you gotta embrace it, accept it, love it, and really take it into yourself, and really honoring that you have these fears, or whatever that fears that is. And then, as number three, I would say that the best thing is trial and error. So whatever that is, like, don't give yourself options, because when you do, you're gonna go back to the most secure option, which is uh, what you're familiar with, and that's gonna be the only thing you know, and that's gonna be where you're at right now. So don't give yourself options, which means you gotta kind of like burn the boat, and you gotta tell yourself that this is, you gotta tell the world, and you gotta tell yourself and people around you that what you're gonna do. Dare to do that. Most people don't dare to do that. And then actually go for it. So don't say anything if you're not gonna do it, and if you say it, you have to do it. This is called integrity, and it's very important for us men, well, for some women too, of course. uh, but saying something and speaking it into the world and speaking it into existence is very important, to be able to say things that you are about to do, and then you go do it. And if you're scared and you're kind of like, no shit, should I have I said this thing, then you have to do it. You have to go and face those things that you told, because otherwise you're a liar, and what happens is that you don't trust yourself. So what's gonna happen is that the more you speak and not do, is this thing inside that really you're gonna believe your lies. And the more you believe your lies, then you know that it doesn't matter what I say. I can say anything because I'm not gonna do it anyway. And the more bad you're gonna feel about yourself. So when you know that everything that comes out of my mouth, I'm going to do. So if I say on Monday I'm gonna make a video, I'm making a video on Monday. If it's not as I thought it would be, that's okay. I put it out anyway, because otherwise, in the end, you're gonna have such a mistrust to yourself that you don't know if nothing's gonna happen and nothing's gonna matter, and then you're really gonna bullshit yourself out of it. So these are the three things that make you take action into your life with safety and security, and not having self-doubt. So if you do these things, I will promise you will be successful in the things that you do. So go for it, and really remember that, like, it's only either you learn or you succeed. So there's no downside to anything. So just decide what you want to do and go for it. I wish you the best. Comment down below what you think and what you're going for. I would love to hear that. And don't forget to subscribe, okay? Thank you.